So I'm really excited to have the chance to talk with you. Everyone, this is Tracy Lee, the founder of Dishcrawl, which is a fabulous startup that you came up with, and I love the way that you came up with the whole concept very organically. And why don't you take it from here and tell us all about how you got started?
Well, I got started because I was unhappy with my corporate job, and being sort of young in my 20s, I wanted to do something that was really going to make a difference in the world. I think everybody after college wants to make a difference, and a lot of people don't really get that opportunity because you're usually not in the right situation, or you don't have the right position, or there's politics, and so I decided, I'm just going to take care of this myself. And so I did. I started Dishcrawl while I was working a corporate job, and it really started happening serendipitously. So the idea was very exciting to people. I guess, going to four restaurants one night, which is the Dishcrawl concept that we started off with, was, um, you know, exciting enough. And so people really started being drawn to this concept, and, sort of grew serendipitously into different cities. And now I love it because my job has sort of morphed from doing events to really being able to empower people, mostly women, actually across the world, because we're going to be launching internationally soon, to take a charge of their lives, to take a risk on themselves and put themselves first, and just, you know, sort of help assist in the serendipity of being amazing or being an opportunity, which is, what you're happy with versus not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally relate. I was there myself. So let me just turn down the volume a little here. So why don't you explain the concept of how dish crawl works for anyone who may not already be familiar?
Okay. Well, here at Dishcrawl, we're really focused on what we like to say is we're reimagining the way people think about food, drink, in their community. So when you're in a city, like I was talking to somebody in Napa, and they said, we've been to all the different restaurants, we're bored, we want to do something in San Francisco, et cetera, et cetera. And what we do here at Dishcrawl is we create events where features the chefs or different, types of drinks, etc., to help people sort of like rediscover what they already know. So you might be familiar with Napa, but that doesn't necessarily mean, you're not going to have a completely different experience. So the dish crawl that we're doing in Napa in just a couple weeks.
On the 24th. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, yeah. So the dish crawl we're doing there, it's four restaurants one night. It's the original concept we launched with. And it's kind of like a pub crawl, but with food. So four restaurants, you're at each place for about 30, 45 minutes. You are getting to, have an explanation of the dishes and a trio of different dishes at every single place. So it's a full dinner. We like to feed people.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's just such a great place for, couples to have date night, for friends to do like girls' night out or something like that, right? Our demographic sort of ranges, so it's anywhere between like 30 to 65. And it's people who, might live a block away from you that you never knew. But this is a great way for neighbors to get out and, interact with local businesses. And, you might go to that one place to get the bruschetta all the time and a glass of your favorite red wine. But when you go on a dish crawl, you get to experience, the horchata cocktail that they have, and the specialty, like the special arancini that the chef has, and, things that you never knew.
I love it. And personally, it's right up my alley because I love to be able to taste lots of different things and to go to four different restaurants all in one night. And I mean, it's exactly what I would have always wanted. It's a great concept. So.
Yeah. Well, we do it all the time, right? I'm sure. Like when you have friends in town or even when you're out, you're like, well, let's go grab dessert here. Let's go grab appetizers here. But we do all the work for you, which is
even better. Yeah, so you don't even have to think about any of it. You just enjoy it all. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, it's brilliant.
Thanks.
So how long have you guys been in business?
Well, I've been doing this for about 3.5 years now. I've been doing it for about 2.5 years full time.
Hmm.
And, recently, just this year, we started growing. So now we're actually across the US and Canada in over 125 cities.
That's
And
amazing.
so, yeah, so anywhere you go, you can really find a dish crawl probably.
Yeah, like I'm in the DC area and you have one here. And
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
hmm and it does seem like you're in every major city across the United States and Canada. And that's exciting that you're looking to expand internationally. Do you have any ideas of which countries you'll be looking at first or
We're going to be doing the UK first, and then we're
hmm
looking at a bunch of different Latin American countries. So thinking about maybe Mexico City, maybe thinking about Brazil.
yeah,
We're not sure yet. We'll see.
that's awesome.
sort of go where the flow takes you. So you're in DC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
I
all
love.
the way on the west coast, on the east coast. Well, you're
Yeah,
on the
I
west.
spent a lot of time there. I love well, when the mini bar existed, Jose Andres his mini bar,
Yes.
and then I love Marcel's and
Yeah.
Brasserie Back and
We have a lot of great restaurants here, as do you.
I love Vidalia. I just think it's like so awesome. It's
Hmm.
really hard to do like high end southern food, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you were just mentioning, South America and Latin America. And I was actually just in Chile. And
Nice.
so that sounds so exciting too. I mean, the different cultures the amalgamation of cultures that are down there, it's a very exciting food spot, that not
Yeah.
many people think of. But we ate some really, really delicious food there. So
Food
that's
is
really exciting.
everything. Food is really it speaks to us, or at least it should speak to us. And my whole my personal belief is that food is art, and when you eat things and you understand the stories and you understand why things were made, or that there's this place called Mezcal in Adolfo. You don't know that his mom and brother are in the kitchen, and it's all Oaxacan food, but it's not traditional Oaxacan. It's this sorry about the phone, but it's not traditional Oaxacan food. It's actually, his mom's cooking, right? You don't know that he imports the Oaxacan cheese from um, Mexico every single week. You don't know that like the pecan ice cream is actually burnt a little bit with the milk to give it more flavor.
Hmm.
But those are all things you learn sort of through the stories, and every ambassador in different cities has these stories of different chefs, and that's what we tried to show you.
I love it. Well, as an artist, I really do appreciate that because I'm an oil painter and I love to cook. And so, yes, cooking is art and it's so creative and there is so much behind it. So much
Yeah.
culture and yeah, families and a lot of care.
I know it makes me so happy because, when you eat a good meal and when you really understand what a chef sort of put into that meal, it's like I feel so energized.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a
it's
lot.
like it's the only type of art where you can like see it, you can smell it, you can taste it.
Hmm.
I mean, the whole way through, it's just, oh God, it just makes me so happy.
All of the senses in one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you have to eat food. You have to like, sometimes when I eat something uninspiring, it's very depressing. It's you know.
You'd rather not have had that experience.
And I think the exploration part as well, like for example, and we try to take and expose people to things that they really like haven't seen. And you might not trust that sort of hole in the wall, but if we've been there and we love it, or the ambassador in a different city, we can give you that experience. So in DC recently, we did a dish crawl, and they did the banseo, which is this Vietnamese crepe, and
Hmm.
it's like my favorite thing in the whole entire world to order.
Mm.
Nobody knows about it. Do you know what the banseo is?
No, I don't.
You have to get it. It's
Okay.
a EANH space XEO. That's how you spell it.
Okay.
And like anytime they have it on the menu, you should just order it because it's just really interesting. And you're vegan, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
But
sure they
I'm
can
not
do.
like a dogmatic vegan. I am open to,
Okay.
especially food that's been prepared with care, and I'm very.
I mean, I know they can do a vegetarian one, and it's a very like fun sort of like mom makes the best Sunset, like
Yeah.
that sort of concept.
Yeah.
Or like there's this little African place in there's so many great African places in DC, but there's a place and they do. Have you ever had fufu?
No.
Okay, so it's like really weird and awesome all at the same time.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know what region, but it's like Sierra Leone type like it's not the Ethiopian, and they call it fufu and it's basically like pounded cassava, right?
Okay.
And like instead of rice, instead of noodles, they actually use this like ball of fufu to eat with the proteins and different things like that.
Okay.
And it's just like, we featured that because, nobody would typically order that.
Yeah.
And, do I love it? I mean, I love it because it's an experience,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so,
Exactly.
and I mean, it's good, but it's like, nah, I don't think I could eat a whole bowl of this,
Mm-hmm.
but I could try.
You're glad you had the experience, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's fascinating. You are so knowledgeable. It's fascinating. So, what was what was the biggest challenge in developing your company? And I know that it has happened organically, so perhaps that has eased the way in a way.
No, it's
No?
always we are a startup, and so we're in the Silicon Valley. I guess you could consider ourselves like a Silicon Valley startup, but
Yeah.
it's we're so different because we're not very software focused and all that other mess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think that the biggest challenge in starting any business is you are going to get so many no's and you're going to like do so many things that completely went wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and you know you're competing against people who are working 24/7, and the people who make it through, like it's a marathon, right? So the people who make it through are the ones that will be successful. um, and it's really about, I think, just having a hard or like a thick skin,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't, like, if for example, I'll give you an example. It's really about mindset. So there's this guy, and he well, he's a friend of an advisor, and when I'm talking to him, he's always telling me things, like everything I want to do, like all these ideas I have. He's like, no, that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. And I think I have to work with this guy. Like on some level, I would like to work with him. I mean, I like him, but I just, he's not as forward thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But I take that energy and I say, I'm not going to think about it like that. I'm not going to think about all the things that he's telling me I can't do. I'm going to use that and say, good, every single thing you tell me I can't do, I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it better than you think I can do it.
Yeah.
And that really helps me have sort of like productive mindset, right?
Awesome.
And I think that's what an entrepreneur is all about. Like, people might not like you, just for you, right? Like, people might not like your art.
Mm-hmm.
But if you love it and you just take it as like an opportunity, you're going to go so far.
Right.
So that's what I've done.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah. You've got to anything that's any voice of something wrong, not enough. You just have to say that's baloney. Those are always
Yep.
lies.
Yep.
Don't even worry about that stuff, and focus on your dreams, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And let life kind of guide you, which is I think what you've done, and I love it.
Hey.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's what you're doing too.
It is, and that's one of the things that as I was learning more about you and about Dishcrawl, I love the concept, and I'm so excited to go to my first event of yours.
Yeah.
But I just really think that your culture is fantastic, and I think it's great to have that ability to kind of let life guide you and be open to new ideas that you may not have thought you were even going to go with, and kind of bring them into the fold.
Yeah, and have fun. Like, I think changing it up and always like having a new theme in life, like not getting stuck on something, but like constantly saying like, okay, now I'm bored of, this idea. Now let me move on to something else, but sort of stay within the same framework is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You would love our office. It's pink, and we actually have a nail polish bar here. So,
Oh, nice.
that for us is like our reward for working so hard,
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, having fun with life.
Yeah, right. And exactly, it's got to be fun and it's got to light you up every morning.
Yeah,
And it's okay to change and decide, I'm going to go in a little bit of a different direction while staying within a framework so that,
yeah,
you still have everything moving
exactly.
together. Right. So, you talked about your future plans for expansion, which was my next question. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with me that I, haven't asked you about, or anything that you want to talk
Um,
about?
no, I mean, I don't think so. I think that, if you're interested in doing something vegan related, we should definitely connect you with our DC ambassador. Because I don't know if he's doing something vegan, but I know he will be. Because we,
Cool.
for us, Dishcrawl is about sort of appealing to all the senses and all the different, types of people and the different types of dietary things. And so we do gluten free, we do vegan. All our, I would probably say like 80% of our events cater to vegetarians.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can always email and sort of see if we can accommodate, and everybody always tries to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just awesome to see it grow. It's awesome to find people like you in the community. That's what we love. It's inspiring. I started off as a blogger. That was one of my like 10 jobs. So,
Amazing.
found Twitter, started 3 blogs.
Oh,
One of them
boy.
was the food one.
Oh, that's a lot of maintenance to do 3 blogs simultaneously.
Right, which is why, I'm really only semi-maintaining the Lady Lee one right now.
Which I did visit, and I love, you kind of alluded to some of the same concepts in this interview, which,
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting. And I love the way that, as you said, you don't take no for an answer and you let it motivate you instead. So,
Exactly. You have to.
yeah,
Because everybody's going to say no. And
right.
if you think people are going to say no, they're going to keep saying no.
Yeah.
And it's not until you decide that that's not the outcome that's going to happen. It's almost like people, they like, if you stop, that's when you fail. If you keep going, you're always going to succeed,
I totally agree. I agree.
Yeah,
I think it's just a matter of showing up and then you let the magic happen. Don't feel
exactly.
like it's all in your control. It's like
Yeah,
you just, there's like, yeah. That's
yeah,
my
you can only
mantra.
control yourself, right? And what you take out of it. So
Hmm. Yeah.
I love it. I love having conversations like this. They're fun for me.
Oh, me too. I love it too. Well, I'm so excited to enjoy Dishcrawl Napa on the
Yeah.
24th Wednesday, and I think you have a couple of tickets left. So
Yes, yes.
if anyone out there,
Dishcrawl.com/Napa. Super easy. And you can just buy a ticket online.
yeah, it's really easy to get the tickets, and you've taken care of all of the planning, and all we have to do is get an email that tells us where to go, when to show up, and I like that you keep it a surprise. All of the restaurants are a surprise.
Yeah.
So it's an adventurous night. You don't exactly know where you're going next, right?
Yep. And it's only $45, and that's tax and tip inclusive. So it's like,
It's such
you
a
know,
good deal.
maybe even cheaper than date night.
I think so. I was pleasantly. I was like, wow, this is really affordable for everyone,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
fantastic. Hmm.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for spending the time and sharing everything about Dishcrawl with us today. It's really a fabulous company, and I encourage everyone out there to, you're in how many cities? Pretty much major city in the United States
25 cities. Yeah. So,
and Canada.
and we're growing. So
Yeah.
it's just going to keep getting bigger.
Yes. It's fabulous. Well, I'm excited to do one here in DC, and my first dish crawl will be in Napa in a couple of Wednesdays from, I guess it's about a week and a half away. So.
Yeah, I love it.
All right.
All right. Well, super nice meeting you.
You too. Thanks again. I'll talk with you soon. Okay.
Okay. Bye.